This year is not just a year, it's an opportunity. Take a moment to reflect on your current location. What were your hopes and dreams 5 years ago? What are your fears and goals? How much have you grown? Since then, take a moment to truly think about what those dreams looked like. How did your fears affect the choices you made? Did you want to feel excited, or were you already excited? You didn't do it by a lot of doubt. 5 years may seem like a long time. However, in the grand scheme of life, it's merely a moment, yet within that instant your goals can change no matter what. Your goals change as you grow and learn new things. Knowing more about the world makes you smarter. May have faced setbacks at times where it seemed impossible to make progress, you may. Consider others more often than yourself. They can be counted, but they weren't. They weren't just problems, they were chances. They often said to get better. What's challenging is the method they taught us, that trouble isn't something to be feared, but something to welcome as an important part of the recipe for what it means to be outstanding in your own eyes. Now it means the chaos, the struggles, with the unexpected turns of the last few years, weren't just a waste of time. They show you the way you need to go. What actions did you take to transform into the person you are today? You didn't just survive those years, you learned, changed, and became stronger. It's time to replace the old ones with the new ones. As you progress, consider these lessons. The toughness you gained during your most challenging moments. Remember the wise decisions you've made. You learned from the problems you solved. Don't start this year as someone dragged down by the past, but as someone ready to move forward, smarter and more motivated than ever before, because this isn't just your year, it's the year you deserve. Where do you choose to be heard, to get your attention back and change your idea into reality? Know this: we can always get better. How often do we do that? Live our lives thinking we already possess sufficient knowledge to maintain our egos as if they were real. There was a wall between the two. Nobody was aware that the Stoics had this knowledge. Being wise starts with realizing that because of our stupidity, it's impossible for a man to find out what he thinks he already knows. Epictetus asserts that wisdom cannot be attained by uncertainty that doesn't change, but through it. Is it possible for you to drop your ego to say they have more to learn? To help you understand, picture a cup. The reservoir is full and cannot hold any more water. This is what we become when pride gets in the way. The vast amount of information and experience is overwhelming. Nonetheless, it is yet to be found. In the same way that the seasons change and adapt, we must also change and let go of the old. We remove layers of presumptive information to create space. The Stoics advise us to pursue new growth, approach life with a desire to stay. We should maintain humility when confronted with unknowns. For them, life was a never-ending school. Every challenge and victory was an opportunity. Will you seize the opportunity to learn this year? Choose to learn about life and maintain an open mind. It is important to learn, remain open to change, and be curious. The building blocks of growth. Without it, we have become stuck in our own limited understanding. From their point of view, the Stoics stress the question, why should we question ourselves? Nika often talked about the world around us, reflecting on oneself all the time. We are being called upon to consider whether our actions match up with our morals, that you could walk through life with glasses that only let you see a small part. Truth comes when we let go of our ego and accept our interest, and we'll take those steps. Glasses that let us see everything give us chances to make things better. Every moment turn into a chance to learn. To get used to growth, think about how even the most ordinary, a fleeting thought, a simple talk, observations can lead to deep lessons. If you go up to this with an open mind, years will you work on having the mindset of I am a perpetual student, always eager to learn. Learn this to gain a deeper understanding. Every question leads to something new. Wisdom doesn't grow in a straight line. It needs patience, hard work, and an open mind. According to the Stoics, wisdom is not a destination, it's a journey. On the journey, wisdom is formed. Through life lessons, those who stay weird will always find new ways to change. They knew that he was really a master. We are always learning by keeping our minds open. I am willing to learn from both triumph and failure, which is something that a smart person knows everyone they meet and every what can the current situation offer. Useful, insight, picture life as a complicated tapestry, with each thread standing for a learned lesson. When we stay interested, we create a fabric that is richer and more significant. There is life in every thread in this fabric. Everything, no matter how little, helps the bigger whole. Making life full of understanding and depth of interest not only helps us grow as people, but it enhances our sense of global connectedness. To tell us that every moment has the chance to learn something new in you really wakes up with a plan. We must first act with passion. Think about how short life is and how often do we forget that everything we have has potential. Go away. In an instant, the Stoics knew this to be true. Seneca talked about the shortness of life. That time is our most valuable resource. We can't discard one if there are more. People remembered how short life is. It's true that the world would be a better place. We can't count on the world to change, though. We're struggling with life. We need to be even tougher. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the process of assembling citadel as like a fortress in the mind, strong enough to withstand sudden attacks. This fortress is not vulnerable to attacks. There is no solace, yet perseverance is key. Strength. We must rise every morning. We aim to strengthen ourselves. Despite the inherent challenges of life, you get up early and are ready for the day. With a clear goal and strong belief, the strength to keep going, thinking about death doesn't mean being afraid. It means living with importance. And thank you, Marcus Aurelius, who often kept telling himself that every day could be his last, not to scare himself, but to encourage individuals to take action. Consider the possibilities. Every talk, every job, every choice was made with knowledge. This could be your final opportunity. Did you wait to do something important? Thoughts. Would you waste time on those? On small, regarding distractions, the Stoics held the belief that we understand that life has an end. We pay more attention and make more plans. And more. This year, are you brave enough to live each day? Every day we treat death as if it were significant. Knowing that we are going to die, we get rid of the small problems that make us think less clearly. The Stoics knew that clarity and direction come when we do not waste time every week. Every minute is a chance and a gift. You shouldn't waste every morning. When we wake up is a chance to start over. I promise to live fully, and this is what we need to wake up to. Changes from the outside, whether it's never-ending news cycles, material that divides. The plans for online ads are meant to encourage shopping or buying things without thinking. All of these habits are made to last. We are stable and off guard. We have not yet reached our full potential. Talk about politics and online fights. Take advantage of how we feel. It drains our vitality and hinders our progress. What's important, the Stoics would say, to get past these problems, to remind us of what really deserves our focus, is on our internal environment. Consider how much lighter you are. What would life be like without the extras? Weight of chaos outside the constant noise that wants your attention. You are drawn into a never-ending cycle of purchasing items. Getting clear is the first step. Detachment means giving up the need to be always involved with the outside. The world's chaos goes beyond the noise outside. We also need to change the way we treat what we eat, how we move, and how we take care of ourselves. Epicurus thought that our health shows what kind of person we are. Inner control that tells us to take care of our bodies, are like a holy vessel. You need a healthy body to have a healthy mind. Picture someone who is quiet and sure of themselves, who eats well, works out regularly, and stays cool even when things are going crazy. Being strong in silence spreads and transforms. Many people take notice and wonder, what has changed about you since you put your health first? Not only does it benefit you, but it also gets you ready physically and mentally for clarity, as well as energy and mental well-being this year. Can you turn into that person who doesn't lash out without thinking, who treats others with respect and quiet security, and who is in charge? Being above the noise is one way. In a world designed to capture your imagination, pay attention and make yourself tired. Being self-aware is your best defense. With every click, buy, and heat, online arguments provide an opportunity for outside perspectives. It's important to control your emotions, and the Stoics would tell us about things that freedom starts in the mind. Are you really free? Who is controlling you, or who is controlling you? Imagine things you can't see. The puppeteer is manipulating invisible strings. We consume all the news and social media advertisements. I am trying to get people to react differently. Once and Cloud, criticizing the Stoics, taught them that noticing these changes is a first step toward this year. Can you wake up to freedom? The small ways that your energy is, take it back for what it truly is. Does it really matter what you choose to be? Be deliberate in your actions and thoughtful in your decisions. Your answers, and tough against the things that are meant to take your attention away. Picture setting clear limits on when and how to join in instead of constantly being pulled in. Algorithms and trends point to the Stoics' thought that mastering one's freedom comes from being free inside. They taught you to run your mind, you make decisions about your life. Picture yourself as it is a strong, safe fortress that cannot be broken into. Imagine not shaking in the chaos outside. Despite the chaos of the world, maintain your composure. Have a goal and maintain peace of mind. Get in touch with your inner citadel. Outside things can upset your peace, but this mastery, on the other hand, needs daily attention. A promise to rise above temporary feelings and outside triggers. It's a habit, not a one-time choice, and it needs staying power. It shows patience and strength by being aware and on purpose. You protect your energy, which is the most valuable thing you have, so will you rise this year and take back control? Your attention, your time, and your freedom are valuable resources. Have you ever thought about how quickly we fall in? When you wait too long for something, it's the right time to wait for tomorrow. I have received permission to initiate this habit. Because of worry or fear, it often becomes a sneaky, silent thief of promise. They were fully aware of this and told us about the risks, but Epictetus made it clear that there's no right time. Other than unlike before, life doesn't wait for anyone. Every day you wait is a day you lose. The Stoics knew that time would never end. Is the one thing we can't get back. Recover the majority of what you've lost in life. In an attempt to delay matters, Seneca wrote an inquiry. Embrace the day and take action before life interferes. Think that it slips through our fingers. I was by the side of a huge river. I am not prepared to dive in at this time. There is a constant flow of current every second. Every second you wait is a moment you miss. That will never come back. This is your life. Every second you wait is another drop. Fear of it slipping away forever, carried downstream by time's never ending. The Stoics believed that time was more important. The most valuable thing is more than any material possession. They taught us that our possessions are precious. Do something, don't hesitate. Describes who we are. To wait for the best time to live in a dream is now. Just believe that perfection is an illusion. What could we accomplish if we made the decision? Take action instead of hesitating every day. Steps taken over and over again lead to significant shifts. What aspirations do you harbor? Put on hold while they wait for the perfect. the Stoics would tell you about these situations? That waiting isn't real. Happiness is a false promise that life will deliver. It will never come at the right time. Always ask for the strength to act despite any challenges or doubts. Picture someone planting seeds in a field. If they had to wait for the nice weather, they might never sow again, but the ones who plant even when they don't seem sure, give them a chance. Will you wait for yield and growth? Will you wait another year? Or will you wake up now and take charge of your life? What if the only thing that's stopping you from making the decision to live the life you desire is instability? Instability is not the same as putting things off. It steals promise in a quiet way. Every delay takes away our future. Delaying any action is a choice. A moment is lost for a good picture of a builder standing next to an unfinished foundation. Day after day, without doing anything, the building will never rise, and the dream will never come true. It will never come true in this way. Putting things off robs us, not with loud announcements but with quiet whispers. Starting tomorrow is a better idea, but tomorrow never really comes, and each doubt makes the weight of sorrow heavier. Over time, these mistakes add up, making us sad with unrealized hopes. The Stoics were aware of an untapped promise. Hatred weakens the spirit. Taking firm action makes it stronger, builds confidence, and confidence builds. When we take action, we liberate ourselves. The bonds of doubt, fear, and inertia bind. Consider each decision you make in your life. There is a stone in the way to your goals. Without action, that road stays. Not finished, but with every intention, the decision you make paves the way for this year. Will you allow yourself to postpone tasks, take more time, or will you pick to act, to build, to make each? This moment has the power to alter your imagination. Life is only meaningful if you embrace it. Each action resembles a single brick in the wall of your future, one by one. Come together to make something grand, something long-lasting. Will you keep up? Will you wait or begin laying the groundwork? We are building bricks today to build a meaningful life. Take confidence and move forward. This is your time, the chance to make a life that shows what you value most. A life that, rather than waiting for things to happen, their actions shape their lives. We must liberate ourselves from the chains of our fears, and fears are what keep you from rising. Overcoming your fears isn't always the world holding us back, not us. Our own jumbled thoughts, fear, and thought of limits. The Stoics knew this to be true. Freedom starts inside, and it's only when we address our inner turmoil, Marcus, that we can find peace that lasts. Aurelius kept telling himself every day that the mind has all the power it needs. Our ability to manage our inner emotions is crucial. You have control over your thoughts, not the world. He wrote about outside events, like how often we let outside events decide how we feel inside. Peace. How often do we let people say what they think of other people to cloud our judgment to guide? Imagine a ship taking us off our path, an upset sea tossed by waves, still following its compass, that compass. Does your inner strength have the power to navigate through the chaos of life without becoming lost? Way to go with the Stoics challenge this year. You should focus on yourself to take control of your thoughts. Avoid finding strength in such things but in yourself. What if every problem was no problem but a teacher showed them the way? The Stoics will help you become stronger. I thought that hardship was just part of life. To temper us is akin to fortifying steel against fire. What if every mistake was just a hidden lesson waiting to transform you? The challenges we encounter in life transform into something more significant. They're not there to break us, but to build us. They serve as the testing ground for us. Character gets better when we look at, through this lens we become troubled. Unstoppable strength is not a sign of weakness, of battle, but the result of making it through. It is done with grace and emerges stronger each time. Time picture. Going through each day with the you feel as though nothing can shake you. Every failure is just one more. The opportunity to become stronger extends beyond resilience is having quiet faith in knowing that no matter what life throws at you, that way you have the inner tools to deal with it. Real power is not in your hands. Not by ruling the world, but by mastering it. Yourself, and once you do that, become really unstoppable. Think about how we measure. Do we count success in terms of money? Applause from others is a form of praise. Epicurus would say no, and he taught that being wealthy does not equate to possessing an abundance of possessions. However, in having little wealth, not in having a lot of things, but in having few wants, ask yourself what you're after. Things that are important or glitter pictures. A traveler who is carrying the pack is overfull and difficult to move. Moving forward, under the weight of more, many of us live our lives carrying bags, weighed down by wants that only serve to people who are stuck. Often advise us to slow down and lessen our load so we can enjoy. The language is simple and the subject matter is free. Could you let go of today so you can move forward more? Could you go through life without any restrictions? Hopes of other people. The feet that look for items you don't really need. Real freedom doesn't come from getting more, but we need less. When we are happy inside, we become unshakable. Being content is what keeps us going. Steady in the middle of the rough waves of have you ever considered the extent to which our happiness depends on things other than in our power? We place our hopes on results, on how other people act around the changeable fate. But the Stoics knew better. There are people who believe that there is only one path to happiness. The solution is to stop caring. Things are beyond their control. This is the result of our will. The dichotomy of power is worth examining. What's in our power picture? You find yourself carrying a breakable glass hand. You can adjust the way you hold it. Whether it breaks at the end, why? Worry about the things you can't change. The Stoics want you to place your focus on your actions. What do you think? What do you choose? Let go of the desire to control everything and find peace in what you can discover. The guts to accept uncertainty. Realizing that life can change at any time by when we focus solely on our actions, nature suffers. We regain our power and freedom, kept us from being unnecessary. The way to peace starts with pain. Understanding what we can't change and taking action are crucial. Do you focus firmly on what's inside us? Know how powerful love can be. This is not merely a surrender, but a genuine, active acceptance, the kind that turns hard times into strength, as Marcus Aurelius wrote about. The things that fate brings you, and cherish the individuals that destiny aligns you with. Life will not always bring you together. Although everything may proceed according to plan, it doesn't guarantee success. The Stoics told us that things can't go well. Everything we feel, even pain, and you can use loss to foster growth. Think of a blacksmith working with fire and hammer without the heat. The force doesn't have any shape. Strength is also what gets us through challenging times. We will act as the hammer and the fire will remain unaffected. Will you fight the shape or come out? It is stronger, more polished, and more durable. You learn to enjoy trouble as a child. An important part of your growth is when we learn that we shouldn't fight life's problems. The strength we have inside us. When things get hard, they turn into the crucible. How often do we choose to be exemplary people? Hurriedly navigate through life while being distracted. I lost touch and missed the beauty of the moment. Present Seneca was saddened by the necessity of human existence. They waste time acting as though they will never die, like they have a never-ending supply. Living is the least important thing to do. Of the busy man, he said, "We fill our days are filled with an endless list of tasks to complete. After something, a goal, a milestone, dream of the future, but when we do that, we forget." This year, can you try to live in the present? Slow down. Could you truly awaken to the reality? Life around you. Picture me walking. The eyes stared through the dense forest. Some faraway goal without knowing that each side of the road had a wonder. Every time a light beam breaks, a flower blooms. Through the woods isn't seen because there is too much attention paid to what lies ahead. This is how a lot of us miss the present in search of an unknown. But what if we stopped? What if we let ourselves breathe to really look what's around us? The Stoics tell us to take a moment to breathe, not only to notice the big events, but the quiet ones are in the midst of life. There's an urgent task to complete, but something to live deeply, moment by that moment. The little joys, the warmth of you can feel the sun on your face and hear the sound. I enjoy the tranquility of a peaceful space for laughter. That's what makes life worth living. Can you learn to enjoy the little things? There are several recurring events in the quiet moments. Not be seen. Joy is not found in grand accomplishments, but in the little things we often don't worry about. Our slow pace when we open. From our minds to the present, we see that even in times of simplicity, life encompasses more. Enough real happiness doesn't come from getting where they're going, but from I am taking each step of the journey in stride, step by step, finding joy in the small moments along the way. Life is a collection of these quiet moments that make it truly meaningful.